Yay! 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 Good morning. It's Sunday. Welcome to Sunday school. Open your Bibles to First Thessalonians. Is that a book for the Bible? Thessalonians? Michael's a book of the Bible, right? Thessalonians, is that how you say it? Okay. What is a Thessalonian? Is that like a person? What's that? Turkey? Nice. Tasty. All right. Well, cheers to you all for showing up. I like the music, by the way. Yeah. Come on in. I remember going to Equestria LA like 2012. Were any of you ever at Equestria LA in 2012? That was like an LA convention. And it cracks me up because I remember like showing up to like the main hall or the main like stage, and they had like some brony pianist playing like this. It felt like, what was it? It was this day is going to be perfect, and they were playing on the piano, and that was it. And everybody was standing up singing along with it, and it felt like brony church. It was so surreal. Like walking in, I'm like, what's going on? Like, this is such a weird thing to be singing along to. They were having fun, and I was like, it's bizarre. But what part of this isn't, normal or weird or whatever? It's all crazy, which is like, it keeps things interesting. Well, my name is Saberspark. This is the How to YouTube panel, and this is basically a Q&A panel where like we'll introduce ourselves as Gabe and Gryph0n. ACRacebest, and then Corlett are off stage, and we all do the YouTube thing, and we're here to talk to you all to basically like open a dialogue. We can share our experiences. If you all have any questions as far as YouTube or whatever goes, we're all about that. It's very much so encouraging a back and forth. So for now, though, let me go and introduce some other folks joining us. ACRacebest. Good morning. Have a seat. Thank you. You like that trail mix? Yeah, I give him trail mix.
Saber hooked me up.
I'm just that kind of guy. We got Gryph0n. There he is. And then we got Corlett. Yay. Cool. How y'all holding up? I heard there was a fire last night. An alarm? What happened? I was actually asleep.
So the story goes is that the restaurant, the 13 Coins restaurant, apparently they were defrosting a freezer. They're like, now's the time.
Okay.
And as they were chiseling away at making an ice sculpture, they're like, what's that round, long piece? Let's hit it.
Okay.
And they depressurized the fire suppressant system.
Oh, God.
And for some reason, that's a problem. I still blame Gabe, though.
Me too. How could you?
I don't know if you know this. I was literally in the middle of his set.
Like I said yesterday, there's only one of us here who was conveniently not around.
No, I wasn't
who could have pulled the fire. No.
I was like, I'm going to ruin the concert. But
Time to get my trusty drill and go into the freezer.
the last place to expect a fire is in the freezer. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, I figure we can do a quick rundown of, like, I guess each respective person's involvement on YouTube, just for folks who are like, who are these idiots on stage and why do they have any kind of authority to talk about this topic? So I'm Saberspark. I do a YouTube channel, talk about animation, weird, obscure, just sometimes deviant, and just kind of review it. Yeah, all that good stuff. YouTube forbids it. And I've been doing it since 2016 professionally, I guess, if you want to say that. Enough to pay the bills. What's that? Not officially. Not that official. But, yeah. And I'm here to answer any questions you all have regarding YouTube or just online stuff in general with, like, running platform, or I guess a presence on a platform. So I've done this to some degree. I like to think I know what I'm kind of doing. Then we got Gryph0n here, who also does the YouTube stuff. You've done it. Mr. On YouTube Rewinds.
I posted some videos.
Yeah, he has a video with 150 million views. No big deal.
I've got a few subscribers, but that doesn't matter anymore because.
Oh God, here we go. Just stop. Race, you do it for
Because he's
fun.
here with his friends.
Yeah,
That's why.
He loves
No,
what
I
he
don't-
does.
I don't mean
He enjoys it so much. I'll answer for him.
I don't mean that. I mean the subscribers, like YouTube's algorithm is changing the way that it counts. Like, so actually having a subscriber doesn't count. You now have to turn on notifications and click on people's videos, because if you don't click on their videos, even if your notifications are turned on, you won't get a notification. I learned that the hard way. So yeah, but we'll talk about that later too, because that's important.
You're already seeing how this is going to turn out with like how pessimistic YouTube can be. Race, you do it for fun.
I do it for fun. So I have a a Monday to Friday job.
He works Monday through Friday.
I work Monday through Friday, not 9 to 5, 8:30 to 5:30.
Tell us what you do.
Wait a minute, extra hour. And
How did I end up with an extra hour?
They're ripping you off. What are you doing with an extra hour? You better be in the bathroom. Yep.
I mean, that's 2 hours.
That's 2 hours at least.
But yeah, my involvement with YouTube kicked off around 2010, where I was like, I'm gonna make a lot of rescue ranger content.
That's the emerging market.
Which, if you aren't getting on that right now, 11 years later, I tell you, get on it.
Yeah.
It's like
Prime real estate.
or AMC stock or whatever.
No.
But yeah, I've been doing it mostly as a hobby, doing it for fun. It's one of those things where with YouTube, I feel like in some cases, if it's able to almost become your income, then it's like, okay, that's the time for the transition. For me, it never really got to that point, which I've been okay with. I had a lot of fun. I do the low budgets. I also, the main series a lot of people know the channel for is Bronies React. But again, a lot of it is just like videos that I enjoy putting together, sharing with people. And they still have their core audiences, which I always enjoy seeing the comments and people interacting with the videos. So for me, yeah, it's just been kind of passion projects that have kept me going with all of the YouTube stuff. And while they're trying to catch up to me, I have over 100,000 subscribers.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Thank you. I didn't mean to brag and make them feel bad.
Flexing on us. Claire, what do you do?
Nothing.
Cool.
Yeah, next. No, I'm actually here to get podcast advice. I want to start a podcast. You know anything about that?
What kind of podcast?
It's one that's good.
What?
One that's good.
So true crimes?
Yes.
You gotta do true crimes.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is how it goes. I was told that once you get into your like late 20s or early 30s, guys do one of two things. All right, they start grilling or smoking meats, or they become infatuated with World War II history. While for women, you only have one option, and that is
Oh.
becoming infatuated with true crimes.
Okay, I haven't got
apparently.
there yet.
You'll get there.
But I guess I have about
You got some time.
at least 8 years or something.
8 years, okay, you'll get there. You'll smoke meat someday, I believe. World War II.
Actually, yeah, I'm more
I
interested
keep
in
not
that.
hearing him say meat when you say
Meat.
smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear smoke weed.
Did you ever see
Yeah.
that
every time?
Did you all ever see that Mark Zuckerberg video where he's like, "I'm out here smoking meats," and it's like, "What are you, not human person?
Meats are
Go
things
away.
that people consume. I consume them too, for I am people.
I am human." He's like, his eyes falling out of his mask, and he's like pushing it up. Smoked meats. All right.
That's funny. But I'm an editor for his channel. And also my channel. My channel is not really a YouTube channel. It's more like a website that I post videos on. And
YouTube.
yeah, but like I'm not striving to like become a YouTuber or anything like that.
Why not?
What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
What do you got
There's
against us?
Nothing wrong with it. It's to me, I don't want to really put in the effort, honestly, to keep doing that because it sounds awful.
It's awful.
It sounds
This
absolutely awful.
panel's a
and,
warning to you all, if anything.
and you like
Get
don't
out.
really get enough out of it, like quickly.
I think it depends on what you want to get out of it. Because I
That's
mean,
true, but
everybody.
I
and think-
also am way too all over the place to be like, oh, I'm going to post this one type of content, which is really how YouTube works.
But that's something we can
I
talk
don't
about.
want to do that. Yeah, I know.
Because I think there's a good representation here of people who do it like semi-professionally, professionally, failing, and for fun.
He only has 4
I just
million
post whatever.
subscribers.
Whenever. I'm vlogging this convention, so that's going to be probably the next video I put up
Are
in
you though?
what, a year.
Are you truly vlogging this convention?
Are you?
I don't mean to
Do you know who you're
judge,
talking
but-
to?
Okay,
Yeah.
listen up, buddy.
Yeah, bring it.
Bring it, punk.
I love your vlogs.
Oh, thanks.
How many of you have YouTube channels of your own in the audience? Okay. How many of you have some kind of like, I'd say social media, like not just YouTube, but like DeviantArt, Tumblr, Twitter, fan fiction? Okay. How many of you have like no presence online? You're just like, I don't create, I just view. That's all I'm about. Word. There's a good.
You guys have a
representation.
very important role in the content creating process.
Yeah,
just so
keeping
you
us
know.
alive.
Yep.
Thank you. I think I should buy you all a drink. All right, word. All right, well, we kind of open it up right now to you all. There's a microphone right there. If you got any questions, fire away. Don't be shy, because we figured typically, like the landscape of YouTube, of online creation in general, it can be tough. There's not really just one way of making it work. There's a lot of different ways, because it covers a broad spectrum of types of content, types of audiences, types of ways to, I guess, make it work, hopefully. So who's going to be the brave one to dive in first with a question?
And
There we go.
And as we already have
Brave souls.
volunteers,
Get it?
Brave souls.
victims. But we also want to point out, like, guys, we're here to have fun
Yeah.
over this this session.
This is
and
loose and fun and chill,
yeah.
and we're all just here to
so if you
vibe.
have goofy questions, don't be afraid to ask
It doesn't
those
have
either.
to be just YouTube. If you just want to ask, like, who won a fight, a gorilla or a bear, like, by all
Gorilla.
means. By
Gorilla.
all means.
Gorilla.
Gorilla.
Yeah, right, no.
Silverback
no,
gorilla.
No.
There-
I was reading about California grizzly bears yesterday, and I'm like, whoa.
Were you
Those
reading
guys
about
were tough.
silverback gorillas?
No, silverback gorillas.
Okay.
Don't even get it Wikipedia entry.
It was
That's-
actually great because we went to the what is it, Joey's restaurant?
Yeah.
And Saber asked the waitress,
I'll
thinking
ask
like,
anybody.
this is gonna be clever. I'm gonna get it right on the spot.
Dude, well, I ask the question usually, and people are like, don't expect it coming. So I'm like, who would win a fight, a silverback gorilla or a grizzly bear? And they're like, But we asked the waitress, and she's like, gorilla, instantly. Like, she's like picking up dishes. I'm like, who would win? She's like, gorilla. And I'm like, she didn't even make eye contact. Like, she was just like that with her response.
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
she's a biologist. She works at the restaurant for fun.
hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. My name is Michaela Marie, aka Macaroni
Brony.
Pony.
Nice.
Hi, Claire. And my question is, what advice do you have for researching tags to make my videos more searchable?
Tags.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very good. What platform do you typically rock on?
YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
So I'm going to say right now, TikTok is such like an explosive market right now. I've noticed like where YouTube feels like it's still growing and everything. There are people who can go to TikTok and launch a channel and a video like the same day, and with the right tags, you can next day it's like I got 60,000 views. Like wow. The downside about TikTok is it's a challenge to monetize, which is what Vine ran into, and why Vine was like, wow, 6-second videos. How do we monetize 6-second videos? So, I feel like for tags, well, what kind of content do you make?
Mostly pony collecting, like pony toy collecting across generations.
Word. Okay, so there are, because YouTube, there's what's it called? There's a YouTube Buddy tool.
Buddy?
I think that's the one. Yeah. And I use that one. I guess I'm often enough to remember its name. But it will generate, like once you start entering in tags, like Milo, like let's say you made a reaction to the G5 trailer that dropped. You type in MLP G5, and it'll start auto-generating tags that are similar to it, like reactions, reviews, first impressions, beans. So, like, you have to find tags. Like, put yourself in the perspective of a viewer. Like, what would you be entering in on YouTube to find out about pony collecting or G5? What would you be typing in? Okay, put those in the tag. And find an engaging title. See, right now there's so many, and you all feel free to weigh in if you like, but like the challenge right now is like, if you're new to the platform, it's having your voice heard in the ocean of other voices. What makes you stand out? You have to find a shtick. Like, it's a lot of folks doing the same thing. You have to either do it differently, do it better, or do both.
I'll have you know that I get My Little Pony inspired nails done every 3 weeks, so I have that going for me.
There you go, word,
That's beautiful.
word.
That's TikTok worthy. That's hashtag FYP. Does anyone know if the hashtag FYP does anything?
I think it does. Yeah.
And also, is it a myth that if your video is the sweet spot of 7 seconds with the hashtag FYP is much more likely
TikTok?
to, yeah.
So TikTok, I'm still learning about because I don't use it really. Though a lot of folks will upload my content. A lot of folks upload your content. There's a lot of content poaching on TikTok. So, I mean, I guess it depends on the platform because YouTube, YouTube, for example, went back and forth and continues to do so with the length of their content. It used to be where they're like short videos are where it's at because it's like short sketch comedy, short animation, a video being 2 minutes long. We will reward you by view, but then they're like, oh wait, the longer the video, the more commercials we can put in the video. So now we want long videos. And then TikTok showed up and it's getting like millions of views, billions of views. And now YouTube's like, wait, hold on, no, go back. Go back to short videos with the YouTube Shorts program. They can't make up their minds.
Instagram Reels, like everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flip-flopping. I mean, I think short-form content definitely has its place on different platforms like TikTok, like YouTube Shorts, like Instagram Reels, because a lot of folks are like, I want it quick, I want it fast, move. So because there's so much content in this world now, there's like a revolving door, revolving or rotating door. What is it? Is it both?
Yeah, revolving means
Revolving
rotating,
door.
circular.
Yeah. So
Whatever it is, Jack's Blade probably broke it. So.
right, no kidding.
Like the phrase, the world revolves around me.
right.
Yeah,
The
it does.
world rotates around.
All right, I feel like I'm dominating this answer. Do you all have any other feedback for her as far as tags and?
We like it when you dominate. First off, I just want to point out, I think in the 8 years of us doing this panel, you're the first person I've ever seen actually taking notes while we were answering, and I was like,
Yeah, that's really
Uh-oh,
cute.
we got a.
is that a quill?
Right out the. Wow, we
Taped
are.
a feather to this mechanical pencil.
Whoa. But
My dearest Twilight Sparkle.
yeah,
I,
I mean,
what-
like you said, like the very basic form tag info, like for me, like because I have such broad content where it's like, bronies react, okay, reactions, bronies, brony, pony, MLP, FIM. Versus if I'm uploading content, because I also run a racing channel called Low Budget TV, which in itself, it's doing local short track racing. And we've been covering that stuff. We got some Low Budget TV fans out there. Woo. Yeah! And, but we've been doing that since 2006. So, just talking about the changes you've seen on YouTube and all that. But
Do you use
it's
like clickbait titles for those tags?
Yeah.
Like big car crash.
What?
people
Irwindale
die.
Speedway. Actually, there was, yeah. So we had a really bad accident at Irwindale this year, and I think I titled the video like in all caps, "Terrifying Crash." And I knew as I was typing this out that there were going to be people to show up to be like, "This is not terrifying. You must be like 5 if this scared you." The thing is that it was a really bad looking accident. I've been at racetracks long enough that I've seen the difference between ooh, that one's going to hurt tomorrow, and hopefully the driver's okay.
Yeah.
And yeah. So for that one, I'm like, this is justified.
Yeah.
And of course, like I had a guy who was like, "Are you guys babies?
Yeah.
Are you?" So I mean, and this is branching away from the tag question, but I'm not a baby.
Well, again, to harken back to so you asked the question because you're looking to get attention. You want to get people to look at your content who don't subscribe to it, people who are newcomers. And you're basically trying to sell your content to them, saying, my video is worth watching for the following reasons. And even just getting the chance that they see your thumbnail to begin with for a second. Why are you worth checking out? So yeah, I mean, the tag game is important. The title, there's a bit of a grind. I mean, there's always a grind. But like, the initial first challenge outside of just making content is like, hey, over here, up, over here, watch my video. And get
But
their
also
attention.
getting the attention of the right people, because it is a C and it's not really like segregated into this type of video. It's all on the same platform. So- Right. So you want to make sure that the people who would want to watch a video like your video are getting their recommendation. Because if that recommendation goes out to somebody who likes, I don't know, hand grenade collecting, they're not going to click on it. So that's a wasted
Blow up in your face,
recommendation.
literally.
Unless I have a My Little Pony hand grenade.
That is
I
Exactly.
think
exactly
something
right.
that's
Exactly. You get it.
One last thing that's worth keeping in mind, and this is a very important thing I've recently come to discover, is that the internet in general, with seeing like the big names on there, would lead you to believe that success is by getting millions and millions of views. Like you have to keep pushing. Views are all that matter. And it's like, no, I think there are like the same thing with like the Bernie fandom, where we don't need like 40,000 people at a convention, 2,500. This is great. It's manageable. It's fun and sustainable. This
Very
is great.
comfortable.
Same thing for YouTube, where it's like I have a My Little Pony YouTube channel. I get a respectable 50,000 views in my video, and that's in that genre, that's a lot, and it's sustainable, and that's something worth being proud of. Like, is it as much as like Markiplier? No, he's a different animal. That's a different kind of
Nobody ever here will ever be as good as Markiplier.
No one. No.
He's just great.
He's a patron saint of YouTube.
We all suck.
You've tried to look like him, though.
I've tried. I got at least 40 more pounds, and maybe we'll start there. But yeah, hopefully our 50 answers for your one question was of satisfaction. Thank you so much. Good luck to you. You know what, though? How about this? One more time. What was your YouTube channel's name?
Macaroni Pony, like mac and cheese, but with a K.
You're already off on a great start with the title of your channel. Good
I like
job.
mac
Got
and
it
cheese a
down.
lot.
Mac and cheese.
Hello.
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 By the way,
Yeah,
if
Hi.
you would like, you can definitely angle the microphone up if it's to your, if it's more
Yeah.
comfortable.
I don't think.
hey, that's better. Hey, thanks
you
for being here today.
Hi.
Appreciate it. So YouTube is, not even being a content creator, I know this, YouTube is notoriously capricious about its, who it shows to and its material and the rest of that. And so I've seen a lot of content creators move to other platforms of their own making. Nebula, Floatplane are two of the ones I think off the top of my hand. As people are like, I want to keep making video and content, but I want to get out of YouTube's determining whether or not I'm successful. Have any of you guys thought at all about joining forces with either an existing or creating your own distribution platform? I know there's lots of challenges in there.
There are the biggest challenges. A lot of it boils down to like, okay, what YouTube has. What's going on?
Just that the
camera behind
the
us. I was
angle
like,
is behind us right now, and
whoa.
it's really cool.
They got all the angles here at
Wow.
Everfree.
Oh, my hairstylist.
Is there an under
She
the
messed
table
up in the back
camera?
of my hair. Whoa! Okay, so here's the main challenge. YouTube has done a good job of pooling the lion's share of viewership and sponsors as far as like in video like monetization goes. So whenever we do complain about YouTube as creators, we're like, it blocked my video, demonetized, copyright claims, this entire avalanche of issues we run into. There'll be the outside viewer who says, go to Dailymotion. And it's like, yeah, I know. Like Dailymotion's a lot more relaxed with their rules, but it also has a fraction of the viewership. It doesn't have enough viewers there. So if you're
Nobody says, "Have you ever seen that video on Dailymotion?"
right. You go to Dailymotion if you're looking for a legally uploaded.
I mean, in 2004, but
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube. So Google was able to put in the time of like, okay, YouTube's coming at a cost to us for like almost a decade. We're losing money, but it's an investment. We're going to outlast everybody else. You can't stick around for the long run. We're going to make them give up. And they have, for the most part. There are other websites that still are, like Dailymotion, around. But YouTube's like, we are the monster in this ocean. Like, no one comes close to our size, and we know it. And that's why YouTube, like, that's how companies work. The big companies are like, can we outlast the rest of this competition and eliminate them? Cool. Now we're the only ones who are left. We're going to start jacking up prices. Have you noticed that there are now 2 ads at the start of every YouTube video? Get comfortable with that. Wait for 3, then 4. Because YouTube's like, who's going to stop us? We're going to make our money back.
well, the interesting thing though is some people are bailing the platform. Like you get enough people together and they're like, hey, we're going to go create our own distribution, but maybe you have to be of a certain size or enough people in order to get in on that thing.
I think, so for the folks who are like, okay, when the hard part is like, when you say people, do you mean creators launching their own website?
Yeah, or whole distribution platforms. Are you familiar with, say, Nebula?
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, look up Nebula. A whole bunch of content creators you would probably know. Tom Scott, the Vlogbrother guys, a bunch of other people that you're going to go, yeah, I know this guy, I know this guy, I know this guy. And they're still on YouTube, but they're like, look, we want to be able to publish stuff and then occasionally include stuff that YouTube won't let us, or we want to create our own revenue stream.
Here's the challenge, though.
And so they banded together and they got their own thing, and you pay like, I don't know, $1.99 a month or something, and you get access to all their stuff.
That's drilling into your faithful followers. The fact that I haven't heard of the website, the fact that there's a paywall, the fact that there's stuff on YouTube, I ain't going there. Now, if it was something like, man, I am all about this creator, and they're on this website, and I want to dedicate my, like Patreon or whatever, like the extra
like
content,
Patreon.
boom. But if you're looking for like the majority of viewers, like large numbers, they're not going to bother with it. That happened before YouTube with like Channel Awesome, where they have their own like website, their own dedicated website. But then they realized no one's gonna Google Channel Awesome. They're gonna go to YouTube because that's like the place to be, where you go to YouTube, then you type in what you're looking for. I will say it sucks that YouTube has a monopoly on this stuff. That sucks. It really does.
Well, you did mention Patreon. How does that work out for you guys? Like, YouTube versus Patreon. Like, is it just like, hey, Patreon's nice and I get a little extra money, or like, hey, Patreon is really doing a thing for me good here?
Definitely depends on the channel. I mean, for me, Patreon was something that I made experimentally, and then some people found it and I didn't tell them about it, and then one of the reward tiers was that their name would get mentioned at the end of my video, so I started doing that and more people found it. It is supplementary income for me, but it's a little more steady. But I think the big reason, just to go back to the, why stay on YouTube, is YouTube's primary focus, at least for now, and why I believe they're still succeeding, is the viewer experience. And their algorithm is designed to cater way more to the viewer than it is to the creator. Okay. And that's why people stay there, I think.
Because there are more viewers.
Let's be real here. All right, you ever see that meme where it has like this utopian surface of like a park and a city and a family walking through it, and then below has a bunch of soldiers pointing their guns, holding it up or whatever? Black Gryph0n's YouTube channel, Nora Mermaid, supporting it. Nora, you have single-handedly kept Gabe's channel from collapsing.
How do you manage all 4 million accounts is what
the 4 million accounts that Nora made. Well, there you go.
All right.
Who would have thought money
Nice
would
and
fix
honest.
problems?
All right, thanks guys. I'm gonna let the next guy go. Thanks again.
Hey,
Thanks for the
question. That was a
question.
good
Good
one.
question.
Thank you.
Another thing, by the way, I just want to add to this is there have been times in the past, over our experience of this whole pony ride, where we've had other websites people bring up, and they're like, "Well, what's
The
great
forbidden
is
ones.
yeah, where you can upload, copyrighted content, and and we always hear people say like, "Yeah, it's great," and the one thing we've always kind of discussed is if a website were were to ever gain enough traction, it's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time until the law is like, oh, hello, like we're coming after you now, or they run into the same exact issues as YouTube, because like YouTube sucks in a lot of ways. Little Shy, you're in the audience. You know the deal. You know the grind. You fight YouTube like daily when it comes to copyright.
Little Shy helped
stand
all
up
of
and
us.
wave. Little Shy is one of the best when it comes to knowing the grind against YouTube. Like, I actually came to you once where I was like, how do you fight this copyright claim stuff? You gave me a copy pasta of a reply that to this day I use, and it has worked 90% of the time. Like, you're smart. You're really good at it, dude.
To give Little Shy even more credit, the low-budget TV account I was talking about that had been around since 2006, I had an issue on the ACRacebest account once with a strike, and I was like, what did you do? Because I knew Little Shy was the one to ask. and the low-budget TV account that we had, we used to have a whole bunch of Monster Jam videos on there, monster trucks. And one day, Monster Jam woke up and went, you know what? We own all of this.
That's ours.
And they put a strike on like 15 of our videos. And we got a notification saying, in 24 hours, your channel's going to be deleted. We have probably, I think, like 1,700 videos up there. And it's all stuff that's just chronicling stuff from, like I said, back in 2006 on forward. And I was like, oh my God, do we have to download every single video in 24 hours? It's not going to happen. And instead I went the route of, like you said, with Little Shy. I'm like, well, this worked before. And the trick is, by the way, not that anyone's asked this, if you ever get a strike from a company, specifically if you get enough strikes that it's actually going to like affect your channel or the monetization or anything, I believe that there's typically a contact email that's associated with those. It does help to contact them and say, hey, I'd like to work something out so I don't have this strike, because not knowing that, and again, I'm thanking Little Shy for this, I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have been like, I'm screwed.
Well, I'm screwed. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually going that route, we got a hold of Monster Jam, and they said, yeah, if you take down your videos, we'll take away the strikes. And we...
Which is still kind of like bullying in a way. Because like at that point, YouTube's washing their hands, going like, we want nothing to do with this. Whenever folks like, I mean, and I've been there, where it's like, come on, YouTube, like, what are you doing? Because there are moments where YouTube's algorithm just is like, hello, we looked into this. A living human being with a family read this complaint and reviewed it. And it's like, no, it did not. But I also understand that YouTube is a massive, this algorithm who smokes meats. But like, no, honestly though, I'm trying to not be completely biased with my like contempt for YouTube, where like there are moments where it's like, like I feel like this anger is warranted with your algorithm, but also YouTube is walking this precarious tightrope of like, we aren't the law. We don't want to get sued. In order for us to keep rolling with this, it has to be a system where we wash our hands and go, you deal with it. Sorry. And there's a lot of issues with that, a lot of collateral damage, but I feel like enough of a net gain win at the moment to keep it going, but still a lot of room for improvement. I don't know. It's tough. It's a very, the platform's evolving, and I think that companies recently realized, oh, TV is never coming back as far as cable and satellite. The internet's the new like mainstream place, and YouTube's huge for that. I mean, like, I remember like visiting my family and seeing my nieces and my nephew, and I'm like, y'all want to watch some cartoons together on TV or whatever? And they're like, no, we're gonna watch unboxing videos of Barbies on our phone. And I'm like, that's what they're growing up with. That's their childhood. And that's going to be the thing where companies are like, that's why Disney Plus is like happening. That's why HBO Max is quick to try to marshal their content and get it going. Paramount Plus, all these other companies are like, oh shoot, streaming services now, go now. So, and YouTube's been sitting there for years like, we've been waiting for this.
I was gonna. Actually, I totally forgot. I was just gonna weigh in, but then I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, it was back to you saying that YouTube washes their hands of it. I have a recent example that YouTube absolutely does that. I got a copyright flag on one of my original songs saying this song belongs to such and such Sonic Smasher or something like that. I don't know.
I love Sonic Smasher.
Yeah, Sonic Smasher.
Big fan.
And I thought, oh, this is a mistake. Obviously, you know, someone probably thought it had the same title. Like, this song is Quest by Sonic Smasher. So I clicked on the link to the video that it said that I stole it from. They stole my song. They uploaded it to their Spotify. And then they
YouTube.
Engaged something called Rumblefish that scans all streaming platforms and monetizes if their content. No one checked it. They copyright flagged my video, my 6-year-old video, for a video uploaded a week ago. And I was like,
that's really
stupid.
It was easy to contest because I could prove it.
Well, also, here's something that's another problem. Then I guess we move on to the next question. Is like, okay, y'all ever watch something called Killer Bean? Like, it's an animated short movie on YouTube that some guy who worked in the Matrix made it for fun. Yeah, thank you. Well, long story short, the guy's video had like 30 million views and was all his work. That was his animation, his story, his voice acting. And then some random fake account from India was like, we're copyright claiming your video and my video for the review got claimed for that too. And basically this company pretended to be the ones who made Killer Bean and was able to copyright claim the original movie. And YouTube's like, we looked into it and it checks out. Because the creator on Twitter was like, what the hell? And the copyright algorithm, I guess from YouTube, was like, we personally looked into it. A human reviewed this and it clears.
It always says that.
And it's like, what are you talking about? It's like some video with 1,000 views from last week came before the video with 30 million views from like 4 years ago. So then, because that's the most frustrating part, is when YouTube's like, we had a human review this. And it's like, you did not. Like, that is a lie.
My channel got a hit for extreme profanity.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then like YMS, like Your Movie Sucks, got hit with on his second channel where someone's like your video playing a video game is gang activity, and it's like, what are you talking about? It's like it's
Well, in some
insanity.
cultures,
In some cultures,
I
the
mean.
cutie mark, gangsters. but
they're a cult.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
a cult. But,
cult,
yeah,
established.
there's so much collateral damage. What was your question? Favorite pancake?
No, he
No,
hasn't even
he
asked the
hasn't asked
question
the
yet.
question
All
yet.
right, go ahead. Yeah, I've discovered the longer we do these panels, no tangent, but also the more cynical we become. Go ahead.
Alrighty, so I was wondering, because I have a YouTube channel, I have a small following, I've got my style established, I know what kind of content I want to make, but right now my focus is on expanding my audience and keeping my audience. Do you have any tips and tricks on how I can do that?
What kind of content do you make?
Mostly readings these days. A lot of it is requested by fans.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that first part.
I do readings.
Readings, okay, cool. Why I'm not too familiar with that genre of YouTube, but I feel like it's one of those genres where there's a lot of competition, but also like videos that are explosive. Because I think doesn't Lost Narrator do readings or?
Lost Narrator, Scribbler is another good big one.
Yeah, some of their videos. I looked at their channel like archive, and I'm like, dang, like you can get 5 million views per video. Like it's insane.
I will say
Let me
this.
think.
I will say this. Like, this is one of those genres, though, where I feel like the sky's the limit. Like, yeah, obviously, like there's a whole bunch of content, and is it branching? Like, do you do it specifically for like
Pony.
yeah,
Or
like
Star
MLP,
Wars.
or is it like a specific franchise you do it for?
Well, these days I mostly get requests for My Little Pony fan fictions. I do classic works as well.
What I would suggest is if it is about branching out and also like keeping the core audience, is nothing says you have to go cold turkey unless you want to go cold turkey with the pony stuff. Like maybe here's a pony thing, and here's, like you said, Star Wars or whatever.
Put out
Yeah,
some
you can
feelers.
poll your audience too and be like, hey, what do you guys want to see? Because that's always like, if they're responsive and they're communicating with you, then like, hey, would you guys who here likes Star Wars also, or Star Trek, or blah blah blah, and then you can kind of see, okay, 80-90% of my audience likes this other thing too. Maybe I'll do like a My Little Pony and a this sort of thing, or just that, and then you can kind of like keep collecting things.
Segueing, it helps. Like, because like for me, when I was on ponies for a long time, I'm like, where do I go next? Well, ponies is animated, so I imagine most of the folks who are watching My Little Pony, such as myself, likes animation. So I'll talk about animation. Also, the power of fandoms. Like, I know Owl House and Amphibia are like massively hyped right now. So for you who've worked with pony fandom stuff, you might go, I'll do a reading for the Owl House or something like that, or Amphibia. And I don't care if you don't like it. You'll do it because you want to succeed, all right? We need results. Now, make sure, that's another balancing act is, and this happens a lot for the content creators who are able to actually like get into open waters with their content, where it's like, wow, I actually have a sustainable audience of viewership, where it's like, what do they want to see and what do I want to do? And that can be hard at times. I mean, I think the ultimate goal as a content creator is getting folks not hooked on your content, but on the creator, and that's the ultimate thing to pull off, because like Markiplier, Game Grumps, they're good. They can do whatever, and their audience is there for it.
That's what
PewDiePie.
I tried to do.
It's tough.
Just, it's like, oh, hey, if people are watching my videos for me, then it doesn't really matter what I post in that. Especially when you're trying to post weekly, you run out of ideas pretty quickly.
Well, also, folks typically watch your content to begin with for the content. They don't know who you are. They are showing up because, oh, I like My Little Pony. This guy's talking about My Little Pony. I'll watch it for My Little Pony. So whenever they depart from that, if that content creator hasn't been able to really establish themselves in a way to like have a rapport with their audience, once the creator pulls away, some of the folks who showed up for My Little Pony to begin with will go, well, what's the point? This is no longer what I'm here for. So that's tough. That transition is the hardest part of YouTube, in my opinion, is trying to get someone hooked on you, the artist, versus you and what you make for content, like specifically for context, I guess. So yeah, that's why bears could beat gorillas.
Not really.
All right, thank you very much.
Good
Appreciate
luck.
that.
Good luck.
Hello.
Oh, I am now very nervous because like this whole time I've been worried because like everybody's up here like asking like all these like questions. I'm just like, oh well, that's gonna make my question look stupid in
We
comparison.
love stupid question. You talking about?
Really like stupid questions.
Fire away. Say it loud and proud. Let's hear it.
Okay, so sorry, I just like have to read.
You're all
You
good.
stutter one more time, and I will drop kick you.
He'll stutter back at you.
I will stutter. Oh, no. Let's go. Let's hear it. I'm a professional stutterer. Actually, when I was in 5th grade, you shut up. When I was in 5th grade,
Oh my
I was a
God,
massive
Saberspark.
stutterer, and we had a substitute teacher one day who was the son of the vice principal. This guy was so malicious and spiteful to people. And one time I tried asking a question in class, and because I was a 5th grade kid, I was nervous, I stuttered, and I'm like, teacher, and he cut me off and goes, teacher. And I was scarred by that.
Punch him in the balls.
Dude,
Why
I was
is he like
scarred.
10?
Scarred by that. Scarred. And then my senior year, we went out to Colorado for our senior trip because I went to a private Christian school. I had like 17 people in our graduating class.
And you buried him in the desert.
He was out there at the Dude Ranch working there, and he was miserable, and I was happy.
Did you go, oh, how are you enjoying your time at the Dude Ranch?
Yeehaw. Sorry, I'm sorry. Tangents. Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, okay, so like I've been like having a lot of like issues where like it takes me like a really long time to edit certain videos. So I just wanted to like give like a quick question. Like for example, Race, when you're like editing like this really long like bronies rack videos, how long does it normally take you to like edit and then export those videos?
So with editing the Bronies React videos, the process that I've explained is, you know, the content itself will come out, and then I typically try to give people enough time to react, you know, to it. Give them, because again, I know everybody's got their lives to do. Once I have the footage, like again, I'm editing a Bronies React right now. And so I go through everybody's content, and it always, by the way, and I don't know if this is for everybody, it always takes probably twice as long as I think it's going to take. Yep. Like I'm like, oh, I can, let's see, I have 12 hours of footage, so I could finish this video in 24 hours. No, not really. In fact, I won't cut it in that long. There's weeks that go into, like straight weeks that go into editing that kind of stuff. And editing, I feel like oftentimes for a lot of video makers can be the daunting process. There is a lot to it. Some people love the editing process.
I like it. I like it.
Where like some others are like, I hate the recording process. And to me, I'm like, what? That's the most fun part.
No, I like that too.
Yeah, there's like I mean, I guess it varies from creator to creator, but like the brainstorming research process, the scripting process, the recording process, and then the editing process. Kind of. It varies, but that's kind of like the backbone of YouTube vids.
That's why I don't
What
script.
about, Race, what if you're editing like yourself? Because if you're editing your vlogs, do you rewatch it as closely as you watch other people's
He
giving
doesn't
you
edit
footage?
the vlogs, he
'Cause
just
you-
drops it all in.
For me, if I'm editing a video that I recently filmed and you kind of remember what happened, like you don't have to really like look back and be like, oh, I wonder if I have a footage of, like, I have a really good memory for like, oh, I know exactly what I filmed. I'm pretty sure I got a shot of this. Pretty sure I got a shot of this. Like, I feel like it's easier if it's a video with mostly you in it and you're editing it, or that you were there for the filming process.
Right. Yeah, for, like you said, the vlogs, because I'll edit the convention vlogs immediately after the convention.
Right.
So with that, it's fresh. So it's like, yes, I'm going to do that, where a lot of times with the Bronies Reacts, as an example, my own footage, I film my footage before I send out the format to everyone else, which the format's just basically, it's always copy-paste, and I just change the title half the time, and when I don't, Gabe's like, it's the wrong episode name, and I'm like, thanks. But when it's something like that, where it's like I might not see my footage for a month, then I'm like, oh, I go back and end up rewatching everything. But with the vlogs, like there'll be moments where I'll know, like, I filmed for 5 minutes, but actually nothing really happens in this. You know, and so that's like that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, I know I don't need to watch this, so those go a lot quicker. Luckily, I used to edit the vlogs the night that I'd film them. So it was like Thursday night, first day we're at the convention. Convention starts tomorrow, and then I would stay up as everyone else in the hotel room's asleep, and I'd be editing. And at some point, I went, why do I do this to myself?
Yeah.
And I mean, and to be honest, like there are payoffs to it where it's like, oh yeah, you get your vlog out there immediately. People that aren't at the convention are like, oh, this is happening right now. I do think there are those payoffs, but obviously once we started getting so involved with the conventions, whether they were panels or whatnot, I went, this ain't happening. Like we're too
Very
busy
tiring.
and sleep is too important. Has anyone here not slept the whole weekend in the audience? Wow, there you go. See? Good job, you troopers. You could have edited your vlogs last night.
Actually, speaking of editing, Nick. Okay, Nick is, no joke, one of the greatest editors I've ever seen. Nick, you are unreal with your edits. So he actually used to work for my YouTube channel and edit my garbage. And Nick, you know the struggle. I don't think I ever once got you a video on time where I'm like, don't worry, Nick, I got 2 weeks. It's going to be 2 weeks later. Nick, I need this right now, please. Make it work. And what's funny is like my stuff is like, just make it bare bones. I don't care. There was like a visual gag where you edited it in like a sound booth for my avatar to run into with the door open, closed with decals on it. And I'm like, who does that? Like,
Awesome.
Like you okay, so, and Nick, feel free to weigh in on this, but like, I feel like part of the creative process is realizing your strengths. Because no one's going to be the master of all these different parts of the process. You'll have folks like Nick, who is a master editor. You are incredibly good at edits. You are a personality. You're a personality and a recorder and a musician. So, and I'm the worst at all across the board. No, but you find your strengths. There are folks who are good at researching and writing, folks who are really good at presentation and personality, folks who know how to edit it quickly and efficiently with quality, and you'll discover, because like
Good at research.
I Google on Wikipedia.
No, but it's true. Like we kind of have this sort of a little team on my end of things because I've also been trying to figure out. Like I hate editing. Editing takes an incredibly long time.
Also,
for me.
he's way too picky. Like,
I'm like, well, I might want to keep that moment of dead space because
if you guys are
I
editors,
might need it.
You know that on your timeline of editing, you can chunk things into another sequence, or you can put it at like the end of the video and just kind of keep it over there. I always put things in another sequence because I'm like, I don't want to look at this, I don't want it anywhere near me, but in case I need to go back to this, I'll get it. And I have like 6 things in there. He has every part of the video that is not used. Even when he messes up that he knows he's not going to use it, he's like, oh, I might put it at the end of the video, or I might use it in this, and I'm like,
bloopers.
You're not going to use it. And I'm like,
sometimes I do. Anyway, just to hurry up, I actually, like, we've kind of been doing this thing with our music lately where I kind of rely on him to tell me what's in because I don't pay attention. And then my brother and I write this stuff and she helps edit it. And that's kind of how, because sometimes, I mean, maybe you don't start out this way, but sometimes having a team is the best way to sustain. And then, you know, you just pay them out of your, whatever you're making.
So we've been having
use your trust fund to pay.
We've been having so much fun, by the way, that we realized this panel's been flying by.
flew
So
by.
thank you for your question. Thanks for coming by. Good to see you again.
Thank you. All right, we'll move things along.
And we
quickly.
do definitely want to get through everybody here.
Last
Which
person in
means
line will get to you, but the line's officially cut off after you. All right, go. Fire away.
Right. It was great seeing all of you yesterday for the performance. I really loved it. And of course, Claire and Black Gryph0n, thank you for the autographs so much. It's made me so
Absolutely.
happy. So the question is for Saberspark.
Yes.
What is the funniest thing that's ever happened in your career as a YouTuber?
I mean, funniest. I think funny / surreal was when I made my VeggieTales video, and the guy who made VeggieTales, Phil Vischer, messaged me being like, hey, I watched your video. It brought a tear in my eye. Thank you so much for caring about it. And I was like, thank you, Bob the
that's
Tomato.
so cool.
So yeah,
Freaking
that
love
was.
VeggieTales.
I think that's one of the most shocking things of the internet is realizing that like there's a lot more of a back and forth with it, and it's not uncommon for like I don't know, this actually might reach out to someone who made the show or the movie or whatever. You don't know how far reaching your content can go. So that was the cool part. And not really funny, but kind of like surreal for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Saberspark, and everyone else for making me so happy.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
your
for coming.
Hello.
I think this might be a NASCAR fan, but I'm not sure.
No, I just cosplay as a NASCAR.
Oh, very good.
That's good.
All right. Jeff Gordon's greatest. That's it. That's all I'm saying. First off, Saberspark, you sound so different than you do in your videos.
Yes. The reason why is
Very
because this is autopilot versus reading a script. When I read, I've tried so hard to make it sound casual, but when I read it, it goes into like narration mode where it's like, when it comes to My Little Pony, you can hear the cadence switch over. And I get that on my Twitch where folks are like, why do you sound different? And I'm like, well, because I'm not reading a script and also my audio hasn't been edited yet. But yeah,
That
I'm actually
auto-tune.
a hack fraud. There's another Saberspark who does all my work. I'm the beautiful face of the channel.
This is Saberspark. Welcome to my channel.
But
When it comes to furries.
But anyway, I run. My name is Mr. Left Turn. I do mainly pony reviews. I know, totally original. But some people have tried to give me advice of like, you got to keep a schedule for like certain days. It's like with me, I'm so OCD about the perfection of my content. It's really impossible for me to keep a schedule. Like, is there any advice you could give on like how to be consistent with uploading without having a set schedule, like a new video every Friday or something?
Get comfortable with yourself. Know your limits. Know your strengths. I try to do a video once a week if I can, because that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I can do with my production, with my delivery. Well, Nick's like, no, I don't think so. No, once on time, I don't know about that. No, but honestly, it comes down to, this is why when folks are like, how do you do the thing? And it's like, well, what is the content? How do you make it? How long does it last? Is this like a one video per month kind of deal, or is it daily? You have to find out your own comfortable rhythm and also what your audience is into. And it's a process. It really is. There's no like clear-cut like solution. It's more of a doing your own research and finding out like, this is what I'm comfortable with. I need 2 weeks to make a video, possibly more, versus other folks like who are putting up videos every other day, and that's what they're comfortable with. So if you've got OCD, like take it easy at first. Just make sure you're putting out good content, because like I've discovered like you got folks who hustle for the algorithm daily, and then those who are like, nope, I go at a slower pace. That's something that's far too often taken out of the equation, is the creator themselves and what they're comfortable with. So like I've gotten to the point with my ADD where it's hard for me sometimes to finish a task for the day, but I also know that having a consistent schedule, like treating my content like a TV show with uploads, helps. And YouTube knows that. YouTube's like, you upload weekly? Cool, we're gonna hold you to it. Versus other folks like who are like, no, like gosh, I'm trying to think of some channels who do like events with their videos. But like there are channels who upload like once every few months. But when they do upload, those videos count. They're big. Like internet historian doesn't upload like every other day. He uploads like every few months. But when those videos do arrive, it's like, clear my schedule. I'm watching this. I can count on this video being very good. And also, like for him as a creator, he gets like in-video sponsorships who are probably guaranteeing that this video is going to be worth it. And they'll get their pound of flesh. So, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Good luck
Thank
to you.
you.
All right, we got like 2 minutes
Speed
left.
round.
No pressure. No pressure. I said no pressure.
I'll just try to just.
You're good.
Excuse me. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, that's really loud.
Hello.
Hi. So I have a bunch of questions about YouTube. So what is up with the YouTube algorithm, and how can I understand it? Because I just really don't.
YouTube's algorithm?
Yes.
Oh gosh, big question. We'll make it fast. YouTube's algorithm is an automated system it does multiple things as far as like determining if content is ad friendly or not. Is it for kids? Is it for adults? Is it a copyright claim or not? It's a big old machine that has a lot of collateral damage in the process. But since YouTube is such a huge monster as far as content, what is it? More content is uploaded to YouTube in a day than all of human history's content from like the 18th century back. Like, it is ridiculous how much is uploaded a day.
Just watch Space Jam 2.
Watch Space Jam
That'll
2.
teach you about
You'll learn
algorithms.
about the algorithm. No, but like it's an automated. I mean, am I butchering that by saying that? Am I? Is it ill information?
Yeah, no, I mean, an algorithm is, Claire said it well, it's a search robot. Basically what it does is its job is to filter for each individual person the kind of content that you would want to see. It's designed to show you what you want to see, which is why
It knows your
confirmation
history,
bias is
your
so
clicks,
powerful.
what you've liked, and so it'll recommend you stuff that they think that you will like.
That's where titles and tags come in. If you keep looking for My Little Pony, My Little Pony, My Little Pony, the algorithm is going to go, this person likes My Little Pony. Recommend My Little Pony.
And if you're really into watching one specific channel, then they're going to recommend you a bunch of videos.
Even if you're
from
not
that
subscribed to
channel.
that channel,
Right.
which is why being
Correct.
consistent also helps with, and not just consistent with time, but with style. of
We
your
got to
upload.
move. Next question. You're good.
When is it appropriate to start a Patreon?
Get your content up and running, get some viewership that's consistent, knowing that, okay, I'm getting 5,000 views per video consistently for like a few months. Okay, I can start drilling into this. If we do it right out the gate, it could be a bit off-putting because folks are like showing up for the content. Prove yourself first.
Yeah, prove yourself.
Establish an audience, and then you can start being like, give me your money.
And my last question is Xbox or PS4?
PS4.
Xbox.
Twitch.
Halo.
Halo. Thank you.
Nintendo Switch.
2 more questions.
Hello. I was wondering, how do you keep motivated to continue to create content regularly?
Alcohol.
I lost my motivation years ago.
Yeah, don't ask me that.
Going back to
because
the schedule
I'm a
question.
slacker.
One thing I try to do that I know has worked for me is actually writing down a schedule that I don't tell anyone else about, just because I'm like, I don't want to be held to this. But that's always helped me produce when I have like a lot of stuff that I'm trying to put out. That's what's helped me.
Yep, and also like, you're human. You have limits. I think that's important. Like, the burnout's not like you will get burnout eventually. That happens. It's a very human thing. So don't like, despite seeing other channels like succeed, and you see them as your like inspiration, and they just keep going and going, and you're like, how do they do it? How do they not have burnout? They do.
They do.
They do. Everyone has got burnout. I'm currently going through some burnout, but it happens. So you just got to take it all in stride and just keep rolling with the punches. I think like being perseverance is one of the most important aspects. I mean, in life in general, but for making content, you just keep at it. Find out what you want to do, how you want to do it.
Find a way to enjoy it.
Find a way to enjoy it, and then just keep at it. This isn't like 1 + 1 = 2 always. It's like, no, you're dealing with humans, and as we all know, humans are all over the place and subjective as all get out. So it's a process of like, it's like shaping a pot and how you want to shape it. It's not going to be the same mold clay pot every single time. You're taking that mold and you're doing what you want with it.
Beautiful.
Thank
also,
you.
just don't be so hard on yourself so that you get to the point where you hate what you're doing.
That
That's not good.
sucks.
Yeah.
That happens too.
Rather, it's better to take a break. I mean, most YouTubers either have an apology video on their channel somewhere or a video where they're like, I need to take a break. Like, it's fine.
Yep. Thank you.
All right.
Last question, and we're wrapping it up.
Woo!
Questions for Saberspark?
Yes.
Anybody else can respond if they want. Doing shows in an inebriated state. Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks, whiskey and rye. No, so like, okay, yeah, I like to get tipsy sometimes before a podcast or a video, which is not always recommended, but I tell you, like, you know, it depends on the content, because some folks are like, you know, like, yeah, it loosens me up. But for other folks, like Paleo Steno, you know, he does his own videos. Gabe, you don't really drink that much. Race, you don't drink at all. Some folks, they actually have, I think it's called like, oh God, what's it called? Genuine happiness. And that's enough for them to do what they want. Sometimes you need a margarita.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you. Nice hat, by the way.
Folks, thank you for
My
joining
favorite.
us for the How to
Thank
YouTube
you.
panel. I hope it was a satisfaction. Parting words, YouTube is tough, and it's daunting, but it's doable. It takes time. You have to learn how to know your content, know yourself. It's very subjective. It takes time. And don't be hard on yourself, because YouTube purposely makes it a very unforgiving, vicious like platform where it demands you to struggle and to grind, and that can be exhausting. And a lot of folks already have commitments before them that are important for paying rent, for doing a job, school, taking care of family. You're human. That's important to keep in mind. So don't be hard on yourself in the pursuit of trying to succeed. It is very hard. So don't take it out on yourself thinking that you're a failure. You'll get there. Just keep at it. That's my recommendation.
Yep. So thank you again for coming out. Reminder that at 12 o'clock, so less than an hour, we have a Riffing is Magic.
Oh my
panel.
God, I've got some truly, I watched 5 seconds of the first thing. It made me cry laughing, and it's so on brand with G5. You just wait. I highly recommend it. You all are in for a good time, and by good time, I mean you're going to cry. The end.
Thank you.